Folks, it's Friday. You know what time it is. It's time for another edition of Hot Topics right here at pubsportsradio.com. He's Jeff Nadeau. I'm Donnie Seymour. How about this, Jeff? We spent a lot of time on baseball, on basketball, on who's going to get back. You know who's getting back. Forget about the UFC. Forget about the PGA. Soccer is back in a big way. Bundesliga back tomorrow, Jeff. And you know what? Just check the local guide. FS1 live tomorrow morning. It's back.
Yeah, they did a great job. I said about this the other day. Germany was a model country as far as what they did with the coronavirus. Did a great job. Merkel did terrific work. And, yeah, they're going to be back. It's definitely sucks that there's not going to be fans, obviously. This is a great league as far as fans are concerned. I mean, obviously, I think England and places like Italy get the credit. But, Germany, some of the atmospheres are just – they're terrific. I mean, you have a derby tomorrow between two sides, Schalke and Dortmund, teams that don't like each other. It's good stuff. But yeah, it's going to be what it is. I mean, we'll take what we can get, and yeah, it's a great league. I mean, you got Donnie 4 teams within 6 points of each other. It's not like the Premier League where you have Liverpool 30 points ahead of everyone else. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a great league.
You know what's interesting about this, Jeff? I like the topic that you were just starting to stumble on, saying how good of a job that Germany did with the whole pandemic and the outbreak and able to get back, their professional sports teams, as I like to use, because we've seen UFC, we hear again, PGA Tour, NASCAR, that's all nice. But this is going to be interesting to see where the team is together, a dozen or 2 dozen people with, trainers, coaches, because how they handle somebody testing, but again, it's going to happen. Somebody's going to test positive, but how they quarantine them and put them back, this is going to be a really good, because we talked about before, Jeff, like the blueprint back. This is the really, really first time we're going to see extensive team sports together and seeing how they can adjust to it.
Yeah, it's actually interesting, Donnie. In Bundesliga 2, which is the level under Bundesliga, there's a team, Dynamo Dresden. They actually have players that got coronavirus. So, a week before they're going to restart, basically a couple players get it. But yeah, that's a great point. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. And look, it's going to be next man up. The thing about football clubs is it's not like the NFL where you have, 50, 60, 70, guys at one point on a team. So, yeah, baseball, you have, your pick of guys. So, yeah, it'll be different. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how a team sport goes, because you're right. This is, as far as a major sports league, this is the first sport coming back as far as teams.
Now, when we take a look also, Jeff, because obviously, we like to gamble, and I know you're very prevalent in soccer gambling, but as we take a look at this league getting back underway, it's the same issues that I would come across or ask any guest or anybody who's on a show with me. How do you approach this? Because I know we see like Bayern, number 1, the 17-4 in the season, 55 points. Second place is Dortmund at 51. Now, is this league just going to have those games that they missed just canceled? Are they going to be added back on? Or how do you proceed and say, you know what? This is a team I'm looking out for and maybe can win because they might handle this pandemic and this loss of time better?
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to be kind of, I think, the big question. And one of the reasons like this week, it's definitely tough. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I lose every game. It wouldn't surprise me if I win every game. I'll just be happy with, breaking even or like a small profit. But, as far as how the season is going to go going forward, I mean, obviously, you're going to have the games on your schedule. You're going to extend the season and you're going to just play the games that you would have played that you didn't play. So, this season is going to extend further. I mean, most soccer seasons, Donnie, are going to end in, May. They'd be ending right about now, but they're going to be extended. They're going to go into June and July, and they're going to just continue the season. So, yeah, as far as how I would approach, let's say tomorrow's games, here's what I'll say. If you bet soccer before this happened, you should just go back to what you normally did and maybe tread lightly, stick with the unit amount, do what you got to do. Listen, Donnie, when you gamble, there's a chance you could lose every game. I mean, it's just how it goes. I'm not going to stop doing what I do, even if I see some, just because there's a pandemic. I will say, though, I think this could go one of 2 ways for teams. You look at, Donnie, teams that were playing well coming in to this break. And, it's been over 70 days. You look at a team like Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen is one of the worst sides in this league. But they are not a team, Donnie, that I feel that is a relegation type team. They have talent. They have guys that can score goals. They can do things. So you've almost got to look at the layoff as a time to get right, get back, and figure things out. There's teams that, like Cologne, FC Cologne, they were playing fantastic coming into the break. They had won 8 of 11 games, scored a ton of goals in the process. You got to wonder, did that break kind of hurt their kind of run they were having? So for me, I'm just going to kind of keep doing what I normally do. But if you're someone that doesn't bet soccer and you're just looking to have action, you've really got to tread lightly. And I know telling people that is stupid because gamblers are going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. But you got to just have it's your money. You've got to have some sort of discipline.
Yeah, I know where you were going with that first original statement. I was going to play off it saying, so, if you did bet soccer before, dip your toes back in the water, have some fun with it. But there's going to be a lot of people out there, Jeff, that say, wait a second, 9 a.m., 9:30 Eastern time, I'm going to get a soccer game on. I never bet soccer, and they don't even know how to approach or bet it. If somebody's just tuning in right now, Jeff, that says, you know what, I like soccer, just never bet on it, just explain maybe an optic or two or how the actual odds work in soccer.
Yeah, I mean, soccer odds are obviously much different than other sports. Keep in mind, when you have a regular soccer league, Bundesliga, Serie A, whatever, 90 minutes is it, okay? They don't go into extra time. They don't go into penalty shootouts. They can have ties, okay? So if after 90 minutes plus stoppage time, the score is 2-2 and you have a team winning, you lose, okay? To bet the draw, you have to bet the draw. You have to expect there to be a stalemate. And I've been known as Donnie, a soccer better, to bet draws. I think a lot of the time when you have two teams, middle tier teams, let's say lower to middle tier teams that are very similar, a lot of the times the old saying, Donnie, is if you can't split it, just hit the draw. And you're going to get a good price. But yes, simple things like understanding how to bet soccer. You don't know how many people, Donnie, reach out to me and say, hey, I had Bayern Munich today and they tied 2-2 and I took the draw and I took the Bayern Munich win and I lost. I didn't get my money back. Well, you're not going to get your money back. Keep in mind also, Donnie, you could bet something called draw no bet, which is totally different. A draw no bet is if the case it would be 2-2 and you have the draw no bet, you would get your money back. There's all different types of ways to bet, and you have to understand how to bet it. You shouldn't be contacting people and saying, hey, I had to draw and so-and-so happened and I lost. So you got to know what you're doing. You shouldn't be doing that. That's a sign that you probably shouldn't be betting something.
No, you're exactly correct. And, it's always nice to build on some of the topics that we have. It's great to see soccer coming back. It's great to see sports overall coming back. I know we talked early in the week, and you're a big proponent there, obviously, with, UFC is fighting, but taking NASCAR to another level and just seeing what's actually coming on the horizon. It's nice to see these events turn over. And again, me not being a NASCAR bettor or a soccer bettor, I'm a sports fan. I really want these to be successful because that's a nice little blueprint over the summer and into the fall that we can get everything back in our life here, Jeff.
Yeah, it's some normalcy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's you're seeing something come together and, know that, like we've said on all these videos, life has to go on at the end of the day. So, you have to always, and anytime you see soccer or you see something going on, it's kind of some normalcy, even if it's not something you love. But, I said this on a video the other day that I did with SBR, I want to say, Sundays is, Donnie, a day where, in the summer, it's baseball and NASCAR. NASCAR is a American thing, no matter if you like it or you don't. They don't have it anywhere else. It's only in the Americas. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited. It's some normalcy. Let me give some picks, Donnie. Let me go through just two.
Yeah, by the way, before you give the picks tomorrow, if you are interested in tuning in, Jeff, I'm actually saying you're going to get 5 games to start at 9:30, one on Fox Sports 1, one on Fox Sports 2, Fox Soccer Plus, then 2 match passes, and then you get another game doubleheader on Fox Sports 1 at 12:30. So if you're up early tomorrow, you can bet some of these games. Go ahead and give some of those wagers.
Yeah, again, these are, ones that I gave out. These are ones that I like. Augsburg and Wolfsburg, Donnie, 2 Berg teams. Both these teams, not particularly good defensively. Augsburg's been particularly poor defensively this season. This is one of those games where I just kind of had pegged as like 2-1, 3-1. I think we see plenty of firepower on both sides. I wouldn't say to bet tons of overs. I mean, I think a lot of people just see 2.5 and they think, oh, there'll be 3 goals in a game. It's not as easy as you think, but these two teams should be able to go up and down. They should be able to find some back of that type of things. One bet that I think is great, if you can find it, if you can bet both teams to score in soccer, those are generally better bets than overs. I mean, a lot of the time
you for too. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the time you'll bet it over 2.5, and it'll always fall 1-1, and you'll lose. So sometimes make sure you have that weapon in your arsenal to bet both teams to score. It can sometimes be the right way. But I kind of had this game 2-1 at worst, maybe a 3-1. I could see a 2-2 here. I would look something like that. Donnie, a team that should be able to kill their opponent tomorrow. I'm a big RB Leipzig guy. I think this team is really good. For anyone that doesn't know, RB Leipzig is backed, Donnie, by the soft drink company Red Bull. So that's what the RB is. This is a really good side. They're one of the best sides in the league. They have a great defense. They have a guy named Timo Werner up front. He's a terrific player, one of the best goal scorers in the league. They're playing a side called Freiburg, not real good. Should be able to take care of business here. I mean, you look at on the season, Donnie, Leipzig is kind of on the level of, your Lakers or your Clippers if you're looking at the NBA. I mean, 62 goals this season. They've only given up 26. They have one of the best defenses. And this Freiburg team has been really bad on the road this year. That's one thing. If tomorrow you're betting road teams, you want to look your other way. You've got to bet home teams, especially now, Donnie. Even with a team like Bayern Munich, they're on the road tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me if they have a tough game against Union Berlin. Union Berlin is a decent side. They're a team that came up last year. They've actually surprised. They've had a nice season so far. It wouldn't surprise me. And on paper, Bayern Munich looks like a big-time win. But it wouldn't surprise me if that's a draw and Union Berlin gives them some trouble. So, if I'm looking at a team that I think handles business tomorrow, it would be Leipzig. I see them winning 2-0, 3-0. They should be able to shut out their opponent. One other one. I know one of your teams, the team you root for.
Get them.
I'm not sure why you root for them, but Eintracht Frankfurt and Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yes.
This is a game that I see some goals in as well. Mönchengladbach, Donnie, on the surface, their numbers defensively will look good, but they actually haven't kept a clean sheet this season. So for anyone that doesn't know what that means, that means they've had no games this year where they gave up no goals. So they're going to give a goal up. It's a question of, can Eintracht find a way? I think they can. This game screams 2-1 to me. I think Eintracht finds a way late to get a late winner and win 2-1. So yeah, I'm real quick, Cologne Mainz. I kind of like Cologne there, but as I said earlier, I think the break may have hurt them. They were playing really well. They have some really good players, but I just, Donnie, when you have a team that wins 3 out of 4 or 5 out of 6, and then they have a couple of days off, you kind of want to stay away from them. Mainz is a bad team, though. They should be able to handle business there. So yeah, I think there's plenty of action this week. Actually, a pretty decent card.
80s on the East Coast, Jeff. Soccer back in our life, different sports turning on. It looks like we might be able to creep a summer, Jeff, and I know near and dear to your heart, the beaches in South Jersey are open.
Yeah, I saw that. I get into it with some people last night that, the people that don't want beaches open. But, it's funny, Donnie. So I had this guy last night on Periscope. He contacts me and goes, I can't believe they have the beaches open. How are we going to be able to do that? Then 5 minutes later, he goes, yeah, but I'm going to the beach too. So and it's like, all right, man, look, either stay in your bed and shut up or, just realize what it's going to be. Be careful, wash your hands. Don't mercilessly touch people and try to get in people's way. Just try to see some social distancing. But yeah, it's getting back, Donnie, slowly but surely. So we're happy about it. Sports are back as of tomorrow.
Sports are back. Another hot topic in the book. Another week in the books here, right here at Pub Sports Radio. Hope it was an informative one for you. We'll be back again on Monday, right here on the Hot Topics at pubsportsradio.com.